Hello, everyone, and I hope everyone is doing good. And back with another video here, covering the second clipper, second wave of wintry weather across the Ohio Valley. Although the first round that we had earlier this week wasn't too impactful across sort of southern Ohio, central West Virginia, portions of Kentucky, like Indiana, Illinois, had some better snowfall with that, but we're here now with the second round, and while it's overall the similar sort of setup here with the Clippers, the system is a bit different here. I think we'll have a bit more snowfall with this and a bit more structure within that shortwave. So, um, sort of dig in here. This is the alert map here, active alerts, and I'll zoom in here. This is our sort of overall setup here, kind of blurry here, but the pink is winter storm warnings, and purple are winter weather advisories. The blue is a cold, I believe it is a cold weather advisory. Uh, yes, cold weather advisory. But yeah, in the pink here we'll have our winter storm warning. Central Indiana, southern Ohio, central northern West Virginia, southwestern Pennsylvania. I think our highlighted region for snowfall is going to be central Ohio through the mountains of West Virginia, um, including Parkersburg, Morgantown, even probably Jackson, Ohio as well. So um, we'll dig into that as well, but we'll also have central Indiana, which is being impacted right now. The snow is sort of across Illinois, Indiana at the moment, which we can look at right now. So these sort of brighter greens here, some heavier snow bands, darker greens, sort of some light to moderate snow, and then these blues, sort of just some flurries, light snow. But we can see our system here, sort of traversing eastward here, and some decently heavy snows across Illinois and sort of portions of far eastern Iowa here, heading into Indiana. We'll pause this here and sort of see how models are um, reacting, or see how they are, compare them to see what they have at this hour. Which currently it's about 10:30 in the morning. So let's start with the H triple R here. Um, it's been kind of a outlier in a sense of a lot more north with the snow overall, and we'll see that here shortly. But I think it does have a overall good handle on the system. If we check our radar compared to what the model has at this time, yeah, I mean it's pretty dead on. And H4 model here, we'll see go throughout the day. This is this afternoon. Um, into this evening, and we see much of the moderate to heavy snow falling across central Iowa, northern West Virginia, central Indiana. Um, as we move on to the evening here, past about this is around 9 and 10 o'clock, we can finally see that snow start to drop southward into northern Kentucky, sort of central West Virginia, and just a few hours of snow compared to up north where um, it's starting, early afternoon in Parkersburg, for example, and it doesn't end until um, late tonight. So HFR is a lot more north. We'll check the winter weather snowfall here, 10-1 ratios, which I do want to talk about. Um, yeah, we can see a nice sort of 4 to 8 inch range across central Ohio through northern West Virginia. um, south western PA as well. Um, I-64 across West Virginia and southward, probably not going to see a lot of snow with this. Maybe an inch or two. Northward, we'll see a bit more snow. Um, but yeah, I'm not sure how much I like this overall snow output with the HRR. Um, we'll switch over to the NAM 3K here. See what this is saying. So let's compare our radar to the NAM here, and again, heavier snow sort of across central Illinois, far eastern Iowa, central Illinois, far eastern Iowa. Um, let's see. It's pretty good, yeah. It's aligned pretty well. Let's sort of see um, to, as we get throughout the day. First, we can see a lot more snow, a lot more moisture, a lot more sort of overall snowfall with this compared to the HRR. Um, Let me back it up a little bit. By about 2 o'clock here, we can see the snow entering like Wheeling, almost into Morgantown, Parkersburg, Point Pleasant, almost into Point Pleasant. Um, Heavy, moderate snow. It's going to stick pretty quickly by evening time here, late afternoon, evening time. Some pretty heavy snow across West Virginia, some heavy snow across Indiana, southern Ohio as well. And by evening, sort of late evening, 8 to like 10 o'clock, we'll see that snow start to creep in through central northern Kentucky and central West Virginia, lasting a lot longer than the HRR, probably overall 7 to 8 hours, compared to the HRR's 3 to 4 hours. And the NAM, again, sort of has this more high impact area across south central Ohio through north central West Virginia. Of course, we have the mountains here, but um, that's going to be the main impact area, and then sort of north and south will have a good 2 to 4 inch sort of buffer. So that's the NAM. I do like the snow forecast a little bit better on the NAM. Um, but let's move on to and that was the NAM 3K. Sorry, the more higher resolution short range model. I'm going to show these sort of more mid-range NAM. I feel like this is done pretty well this winter so far. Um, I mean, and overall, this is this evening here, north of I-64. You can kind of see now, north of I-64, going to see better chances for heavier snow and longer periods of it. Um, Parkersburg, Point Pleasant, Morgantown, Chillicothe, Cincinnati, Maysville even might have several inches of snow. Um, if this, especially if this system tracks a little bit more south. Um, but if we move on throughout the evening into the night here, the NAM likes to keep some flurries and snow showers around till dawn Sunday, and we'll see how much snow the NAM has here. And overall, I would say a good 4 to 8 inches as well across the same areas, 2 to 4 across I-64 and across sort of north central Ohio and Indiana. I do want to show our short range Canadian model. It's been a pretty decent model as well, historically. And as we move on into sort of the evening here, again, it enters West Virginia, sort of south central Ohio this afternoon. We'll continue into the early evening. This is 7 o'clock here. We can see our heavier snow across central, north central West Virginia through sort of south central Indiana, including places like Parkersburg, Cincinnati, south of Indianapolis. As we move on to through the night here, we can see that heavier snow sort of impact most of West Virginia, southern Ohio, central and eastern Kentucky, and also likes to keep the snow showers and flurries around through the morning. Check out the short range Canadian snow run here. Again, 4 to 8 inches across sort of south central Ohio, the same areas across West Virginia. It is a bit more south. It is a bit more south, where I-64 would be sort of the main dividing line through most of eastern Kentucky, West Virginia. Although once you get down to Beckley, the snow will sort of drop quite a bit, snow amounts. But um, really, Cincinnati, Parkersburg, Morgantown, Clarksburg, um, you know, those are going to be the main areas where we can see some um, decent snowfall with this. And I want to show our heights, lines, and our sort of relative vorticity map here. And what this is, our height lines will show me where we have sort of our trough at, ridge, and our vorticity shows me how much air motion we have, how much lift we have um, in our atmosphere, which enhances rainfall and snowfall. And if we have higher vorticity, or higher shades of red and even purple, um, that can lead to extremely heavy snowfall potential. So it's always important to sort of look at relative vorticity in the winter time during snow events. So we're going to start off this evening here. And first thing I can see is we have this sort of trough across the Midwest and over the Great Lakes. We have some energy along the base of this trough here. We have a closed upper level low right north of Michigan. We can see that enhanced vorticity over that low, which is common. But like I was saying, at the base of this trough here, we have our enhanced vorticity. This is where our snow that will be falling. This tells me with our vorticity values around 10 um, here, that tells me that we do have a decent lift in our atmosphere to support pretty heavy snowfall and decent snowfall rates. So we move on through the evening here, um, later into the evening, closer to 10 o'clock. Um, we can see our ridge over the western portions of the country here with how our sort of rainbow shape lines here are our height lines, but we do have this sort of positively tilted trough across the Great Lakes still, and our vorticity over the Ohio Valley still around that 10 to 15 range. Again, promoting um, that upward lift for some stronger snowfall, and that sort of lasts and through the morning. Um, so we do have enough vorticity, enough of that upward motion to support heavier bands of snow. Now, the next sort of section I want to go over here are the snow fall ratios, snow to liquid ratios. And what I've been showing you so far today are 10 to 1 ratios, which is just sort of the normal ratio that is used. 5 to 1 ratio is for a wetter snowfall, and then 20 to 1 ratio, um, around a 21 ratio is considered more fluffier snow. And anytime you have a snowfall ratio above really 15 to 1, sometimes a little higher, that snow is going to accumulate really fast because it's a fluffy, um, really cold snow. And I'm going to show you that I think we're going to have 20 to 1 ratio of snowfall rates definitely towards the back end of this event. So I think most of our snowfall accumulation is going to be the last like half of this event. Um, so I want to show um, a few sounding examples of this cooler air being evected in near the surface, and it's going to allow these snowfall ratios to be a lot higher than 10 to 1. And remember, higher than 10 to 1 is a more fluffier, um, more accumulating sort of type of snow. So I'm going to take a sounding sort of near the tri-state area, Ashland, Kentucky, Huntington, West Virginia, Jackson, Ohio. I'm going to take a sounding in between that area. And initially here, I'm going to back up just another hour or two to sort of have a better example here. But as we look at our sounding here, at our SKU-T charts, we can notice little bit of yellow, sort of right in here. This is our snow growth zone. This is our snow growth zone. So um, this is where um, well, where our snow grows, where our forms in our atmosphere. And anytime we see this green line here, this green line, our dew point line, really close to this temperature line, and this yellow dashed line, we have lots of moisture in our mid-atmosphere, promoting snow to form and to form um, in heavy rates potentially. So we have sufficient moisture in our mid-level, but interestingly enough, um, here's our temperature lines here. Um, this is our temperature lines here as they go up, sort of um, up to the screen. This is in degrees Celsius, these numbers down here. So 0 degrees Celsius obviously is 32 degrees Fahrenheit. We have 30 degrees Fahrenheit right here. Our 0 degrees Celsius line is right here. Horribly drawn, but we can see how that correlates. The temperature, 30 degrees Fahrenheit, is right next to our 0 degrees Celsius line. It's a bit weird, I know, but that's just how it is. But one thing we can notice here is this portion of our sounding. It gets colder as we get higher in our atmosphere, closer to 1 kilometer up. Our temperature gets closer to our negative 10 degrees Celsius line, which is right here. Um, but it gets colder, and let's just sort of notice this here. Um, let's notice this as we go a few hours ahead in time. Let's go about 4 to 5 hours ahead of time when this heavier snow, more sort of fluffier snow, will be impacting the region. And the reason why it's going to be fluffier um, is because it's going to be a lot colder. And we'll see that here in a second. But first, our snow growth zone at this point, still a lot of moisture. But if we notice here, our temperature lines are right at negative 10. It's about 4 degrees Celsius cooler than what it was a few hours ago. And that's going to allow for the snow to really um, dry out and become more fluffier snow. And negative 10 Celsius is around 15 degrees Fahrenheit. Around there, I think it could be a degree or two above, but or under or above. But um, it's really cold about 1 kilometer up in our atmosphere. So that's why I think we'll have a bit more of a fluffier snow where it's going to be in the teens near the surface. Um, Obviously, it's going to be in the mid 20s. Um, this is around midnight. So That cooler air up around 1 kilometer is going to allow for that fluffier snow. So I feel like I'm showing um, these 10 to 1 snowfall maps. Um, and it's showing like maybe an inch or two in Charleston, Huntington, even 5 in Parkersburg, 4 in Cincinnati, but this very well could be 6 or 7 in Parkersburg, 5 or 6 in Cincinnati, 4 inches in Charleston, 2 to 3 in Huntington, or 3 to 4 in Huntington. So um, even like 4 to 5 in Maysville. So the snowfall totals could be a little bit higher than what um, these model runs are showing. So I'm going to show um, short-term forecasts that are used by the National Weather Service to sort of also kind of account for these ratios. And here we go. This is a short-range model run um, that we use, and it's usually really good. And let me switch to the Ohio Valley here. Sorry. And we can see a nice swath of 4 to 6 inches really across from Illinois, central Illinois, all the way across Pennsylvania, West Virginia. Um, Again, I-64, sort of, the state line of Ohio, Kentucky could be the dividing factor of, you know, 4 to 6 inches to, 2 to 4 inches. We can see our higher totals across central Ohio through north central West Virginia, where I think 6 to 8 inches is possible, especially across West Virginia. Our mountains can see about a foot of snow across um, West Virginia and sort of southwestern Pennsylvania as well. Um, so a good healthy sort of potent snowstorm here. Let's look at our weather prediction center. Look at our 50 percentile, so down the middle. Um, Overall shows the overall same thing as the other short-term forecast. Higher totals in West Virginia, moderate totals West Ohio and Indiana. Um, Again, a good 4 to 8 inch event across this region here. Check out our national blend of models here. Just another sort of model run we use. A bit more bullish on our 6 plus inches that even tries to enter Indiana, central Indiana. Again, I-64, Ohio, Kentucky state line, going to be the dividing factor of 4 plus inches northward, 4 or less inches south. So, but we see our nice 6 to 8 inch regions: Parkersburg, Wheeling, Morgantown, Columbus, Jackson, Wilmington, Ohio. So, nice healthy snowfall, nice healthy event. Um, this is another HREF. It takes like 6 or 7 different model runs, pits it into an ensemble uh, run, and this is the mean 24-hour snowfall, valid of um, Sunday morning 7 a.m. This won't be all of the snowfall that falls, but um, here's our legend here: light blue, sort of 1 to 2; moderate blue, 2 to 4; deep blue, 4 to 6; light green, 6 to 8. And we can see that moderate blues sort of across I-64, northern Kentucky, much of Ohio, northern Ohio. We see those deeper, darker blues across much of Illinois, of course, into Ohio, West Virginia, and then there's greens into West Virginia and portions of Ohio, which is about 4 to 8 inches of the dark blue, light green, 4 to 8 inches. So, um, yeah, that's where I think most of the heavier snow accumulations will be. Um, and then if we even go into Sunday evening here, to account for some of the late morning snow Sunday, we could still see an extra inch or two in the lowlands of Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia, several more inches in the mountains of West Virginia. So again, sort of more zoomed in of where most of the viewers are watching. Um, Winter storm warnings pink, winter weather advisories in the purple. Um, Parkersburg, Jackson, Clarksburg, Morgantown. Expect some significant impacts with this. And if we just look at our, I like to just look at this. This is our expected snowfall. 3 to 6 Charleston, 4 to 6 Jackson, 4 to 7 Cincinnati, Columbus, 5 to 7 Clarksburg. Higher amounts in the mountains, of course. Lower amounts towards Beckley, Logan, in the coal fields. But I like to look at this. This is a 10% chance of a sort of overachieving event, which I think it is. It is obviously possible, and we can see, several inches across the area. But I think the main sort of consensus here is around 8 inches of max snowfall across the region. So, yeah, and, most of the snow will be falling this evening into Sunday morning. So, I would try to stay off the road Sunday morning into afternoon until crews have them cleared. I think the roads closer to like Morgantown, Columbus, Cincinnati, Parkersburg are going to be a bit more hazardous. You may want to stay off the roads like all day Sunday. Closer to like Maysville, Huntington, Charleston, uh, you know, even Akron, Ohio, north of Indianapolis. Um, you might be okay by afternoon. So just play it by ear. Most importantly, stay safe, and um, I will be back with another video for Christmas within the next week or so, and also expect some really cold temperatures Sunday night into Monday morning across the Ohio Valley, single digits possible. Um, and we'll look at that real quick. I forgot to mention that. Forgot to mention that earlier, and we'll just look at one model run. Um, Sunday night, Monday morning, we can see the single-digit temperatures across Indiana, much of western Ohio, much of Illinois, higher terrain of Virginia, West Virginia. So just make sure pets are inside and whatnot, and uh, coldest air of the season so far. But yeah, everyone stay safe, and I will be back with another video uh, very soon.